Hey guys, and welcome back to NTom and Volk's Spot of PC. For this month's second episode, we decided to go in like the opposite direction to Halcyon 6. So instead of like roguelike or like RPG elements, now we're dealing with stealth puzzle platforming. And if you know me, if you know good old NTom, you know he likes some puzzle platforming. This is Gunpoint by, oh my god, this development team's name is perfect, Suspicious Developments.
What better name for your spy shenanigan title?
Seriously, this whole layout already reminds me of a game called Trilby: The Art of Theft, which is, I guess you could call it like the prequel/prologue to the Trilby games like 5 Days a Stranger and so on, but I'm not entirely sure if they're connected.
I would not have thought so, although you know more about that series than I do, I would imagine. I don't typically go for this kind of title, but this one got me curious, and I'm very glad I did because this game is absolutely phenomenal. It's just so much great gameplay, and I particularly like the soundtrack too. There's lots of jazz and all that there good stuff.
Oh, is it following the tropes of like film noir and so on?
Yep, pretty much. And we're just gonna jump back into the subway station.
Huh?
This will now be explained.
Okay, well,
We have Bullfrog brand hyper trousers, which means we can bound great heights, much like Superman can leap over buildings in a single bound. Except this time, if this is any indication, we're probably just going to use it to smash through windows and land on people's front porches, I guess.
Oh, well, what else would a detective, I think, need trousers for?
He is actually a spy, a freelance spy.
Okay.
You gotta get your work somehow.
Well, it was either a spy or a thief, so...
And all of the lovely people behind the game, thank you! I'm just sorry I didn't discover this game sooner.
This month was kind of odd for Spot of PC, because we did have a couple of games, like, ready and waiting. Well, they had to be pushed back due to, like, personal issues, so if you're of, like, the ilk who enjoys more 3D games, wait until October's installments of Spot of PC. Today, this month rather, we're going all pixely.
Oh yes, but at least it's tasteful pixelization, it works. One of the nice things about this game is that you get all this nice little flavor text between each mission, and you can respond either as seriously or as dumb as you desire. And of course, I like to go for dumb options because...
Yeah, the less people expect of you, the less they're more likely to shiv you in the back, because they perceive you as a threat.
Exactly. Also, it just creates more interesting dialogue. And I am all about that. Obviously, after what just happened, someone got shot dead whilst we were going up to see them about a potential job. And of course, since we are the only one in the building, that kind of paints us as a prime suspect, even though we entered the building after the shot was taken. So, we kind of got to clear our name. The cops here are not above an easy conviction.
Okay.
Ah, this music. So relaxing.
It's beautiful.
Like, anybody who's been to my live streams in particular know I have a huge affinity for jazz, especially of the smooth variety.
Uh-huh.
I very much dig this sort of thing. It is very much my jam. See, I'm not all heavy metal and rock.
Never said you were, mate. Never said you were.
So here we go. At this point, we discover that there's going to be 5 places where the security camera footage has been sent to. They're very secure around these parts, so we gotta go and wipe the data in order to clear our name, and then we can focus on finding out who the real killer is.
How long is this game, exactly?
I haven't gotten to the end of it myself yet, but I'm a good few hours into it at least. I can't imagine it being too long considering it's a puzzle game, and the puzzle elements can wear on a bit after a while, so I'd imagine you're probably not looking at a long game here, but you're definitely looking at a game with a huge amount of replay value.
Seems like it's ripe for DLC, just like challenge stealth missions.
It's funny you say that, because there are a couple of DLC packs out for this, I believe. And here we go. I just wanted to continue listening to the music.
Okay, fair enough, mate.
Also, it's a nice segue if you wait for it to finish. And scene.
Alright, walk us through Gunpoint, mate.
Alright, so how this all works is that you've got to infiltrate a building in various different ways by either leaping, hiding, or cleverly manipulating electronics, which we'll get into later on, to find your way to the sweet loot, which is personal information hacking. So we're going to go in at the moment and try to clear out the security footage to clear our name. So that's kind of our goal right now. But it's more or less the same. You find a thing you can hack, you hack the thing, and then you try and escape. We've also got these little side pieces here as well to add a little bit more flavour to the game, and also just to give you a nice little collectible to look for. Usually what you try and do is you just usually explore the level as best you can, and then usually later on you'll worry about speedrunning it, so to speak, or doing it as fast and efficiently as possible, because you're rated on many different forms, including how quiet you are,
Okay.
how much time you take, how violent you were, and also how many witnesses there were.
Okay, leave no witnesses.
Well, luckily there was nobody here this time around. It was a fairly easy mission, but that's more just to get your feet wet on how like the moving around aspect works, because of course you'll be able to take stairs and elevators whilst you're in the building, as well as being able to like smash through windows and things like that in order to get to some of the higher points of the level. So this is all about showing you all the different ways in which you can infiltrate somewhere, and all the other places will kind of be introducing different things you can do later on.
So smooth, mate.
It really is. Each mission you complete, you do also get money, as you may have noticed. You also get skill points, which at this point you can only really use to upgrade your hyper trousers, but later on in the game you'll also be able to use it to upgrade other things. So sometimes it may be better, you would think normally it would be better to just save your points, but you can actually respec on the fly, so there's no harm in using the points now and then rearranging them later. So here we go, now we've got some security guards to take out. Of course, you can be as violent or non-violent as you want. You can either try avoiding them entirely, or you can just punch them to death.
Just manipulate your surroundings, really.
Exactly. And guards are very interesting because sometimes they'll be in places that you can't quite get past, so you have to be pretty clever with your approach. Like in turning off a light, you can set them off on a different patrol and try and turn the light back on, and then whilst they're doing so, pounce on them. But there'll be other more complicated ones as well, where they may be in a particularly tricky patrol route, which you may have to manipulate the environment in such a way that it leaves them out exposed and vulnerable.
I'm going to assume that you can't take them in a straight fight.
No, they will shoot you dead.
Thought so.
So you can't just go running straight at them and just pounce on them, unfortunately.
Seriously, after we're done here, go watch... Well, after you send me the audio, so I can start editing, obviously. Go watch a Let's Play of Trauma the Art of Theft by Deceased Crown, and throughout that you'll be saying, wow, this is just like Gunpoint.
I will do exactly that. Just make sure you leave me a link or something, otherwise I'll forget. So now we've picked up something called the Crosslink, and anybody who's familiar with a game called Watch Dogs will know exactly what's going to happen now. We now have a phone app that'll let us hack into all the electronics.
Nice.
But the funny thing is, this game actually came out before Watch Dogs, so if anything, Watch Dogs kind of copied this idea, whether it was aware of it or not.
But I remember when that was first shown at E3 and everyone was like, wow, this new IP looks amazing, and then it came out and it was just kind of forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that they deal with the whole electronics hacking thing is way more interesting, because you have a lot more freedom, and you'll see in just a moment actually just how much freedom you actually have, and it allows you to do a lot of really, really cool things that... In Watch Dogs, it's just you press a button, something happens. With this, you can actually individually set what triggers what, and just kind of let all hell break loose from there.
That said, Watch Dogs 2, gameplay-wise, not CGI trailer-wise, does look pretty fun.
It does look way better, and I might actually check it out if it's any good.
I guess that's the solution to spicing up your kind of generic, you know, action stealthy game. Just make it a bit more like Saints Row.
Yep, pretty much. You know, don't take itself too seriously, just have fun gameplay. That's all you really need.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to demonstrate exactly how this here crosslink works. And there's a lot of upgrades you can get for this thing. You could even go as far as hacking people's guns and make it a trigger for something. So if this is fairly simple. We have a light switch and a light. We're going to make the light switch open the door. And there you go. And of course you can do a lot more with that later on, so you can actually just detach electronics completely. So if you want to turn off a light switch and then force a guard to come off his patrol to try and turn it on, you can disable the light switch nearest to him so that it doesn't work, and then he's kind of forced into a precarious position where he's in the dark and you can just take him.
Right, you almost got an S rank on that. What was the one thing that was letting you down?
I'm not sure if you can actually get S ranks in this game. I think A+ is actually the highest grade.
Hmm.
At least I haven't found a way to get an S rank yet. Alright, now we got terminal number 4, which now we have to deal with electronics and security guards. So this one will be a little bit tricky, but luckily I'm just going to try and leap through this doorway here and take him down. That is an entrance.
We're going to hack the plant and get it to attack the guard. Perfect.
I don't think the plants are electronic in this game.
Oh, son of a bitch.
What we are going to do is we're going to remotely control the light from up here and detach that one. Actually, another thing you can actually do is that you can see the power socket over there.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually set it so that you can activate the power socket from there and electrocute him.
Nice.
But of course, I wanted to go with the non-violent approach. Well, non-violent as leaping on him and punching him in the face once or twice. You know, it only knocks him out, it doesn't kill him. Oh yeah.
It's good shit, mate.
It really is, and the music just makes it all the more better. And yeah, all of the different interactable things in the game you can actually just highlight over and it will tell you exactly what it does.
Mm-hmm.
And it will even tell you when you're actually cross-linking things what will trigger what. And one thing you can actually do is that you can set it so that a switch will trigger a door and a light at the same time, or rather, a light will trigger the door and then the door opening will trigger something else. So you can do all sorts of cool things like that. You can also do like countless loops as well, so you can make a process loop on itself so it keeps happening.
Oh Jesus, my mind. Can't process all the coolness.
There is so much cool shit you can do in this game. And of course things will get more complicated, like you'll have different circuits which you'll have to access via wiretapping before you can actually start messing around with them. So sometimes you'll have a case of you can't quite manipulate anything until you activate the wiretaps, and then you can actually start organizing things to make your way to either another wiretap or eventually the goods in the computer for you to hack into.
So who is this character we've been talking to here?
That is the CEO of the building we crashed into at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
And of course, since one of her colleagues was killed, she kind of wants to know what on earth's going on here. And of course, since she was gunned down, that makes even more of a point, because guns have apparently been outlawed entirely in this game.
Ooh, okay.
Well, except for guards and things like that. So, owning a gun is pretty much illegal except for Rook, who owns a gun company, and is kind of trying to peddle off wares to people. And of course, there is a competing company, and no doubt they may well be behind it. Or maybe it's a double feint. Maybe they set it up for themselves.
Oh, this really is film noir. So many twists.
There we go. We're gonna go down here. We actually got multiple things to hack into now, so we're gonna have to layer our way up here and figure out what's what. Cameras don't hate black people.
What the fuck?
We need to put the rest of this idiot rumor about security software detecting dark-skinned people as intruders. They don't.
Is that a reference to Kinect not being able to scan black people correctly?
I think it might well be. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it was.
Because, you know, the whole bullfrog pants thing just puts me in mind of the PC developer Bullfrog that's no longer with us.
Yeah. I would not be surprised in the least if it was actually a reference to that. That's like part of the reason why you go to look for these little things, because there are all sorts of fun little references and just fun bits of lore in there that you can tap into.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, there's a light right next to the guard, so putting out the light isn't going to do much good, but we also need to open the door, so we're going to trigger this light to open the door, and then turn off the light to lure the guard away. All from the safety of right down here.
Oh, I can't wait to smash into him.
And of course, since now it's dark, the security guard that's literally staring right at the door is going to be a lot easier to get by now. Because otherwise, if we so much as looked at him while there was lights on, he would have gunned us down. Like, absolutely no doubt. So now we can probably get a lot closer to him without the threat of being gunned down, which is always handy. You don't want to be shot to death whilst you're trying to hack into delicate files and video format.
Oh yeah, watching my YouTube videos during a heist.
There we go, we got one more to do, but I wanted to explore a little bit. Figure out what more I can do.
I like how the music changes when you're hacking.
Oh yeah, that's like one of the nice things about the soundtrack as well. It's all more electronic-y as you go in rather than jazzy, which suits perfectly. One of the nice things as well with these elevators is that they don't see you while you're hidden in an elevator, so as long as you stay in there, they'll just walk straight past you. and then you can pop out when you're ready. And it is also actually possible to do this without actually encountering any guards at all, or just being very, very clever. But it is incredibly difficult to do, especially if you're looking to do it in a hurry. But that's part of the charm of the game, as coming back to levels you previously completed and trying to do them better. So there we go, we have now cleared our name, and we're kind of free to continue our work as a freelance spy without the fuzz on us. Well, literally on us, as opposed to messing with them.
Well, see you later, Rook.
You'll hear from her again later on in the game, so at this point though, you're kind of free to look around and see what other characters there are to interact with.
What's that stat you keep upgrading, mate?
That increases the jump height and the speed of our jump.
Okay.
So, as I'm upgrading it, I can actually jump higher. So, whilst before I could kind of leap up halfway towards a building, fully upgraded, I'll be able to leap over the entire thing. So, this is Kate Collins. And unfortunately, as a result of our trying to clear our own name by wiping all the video data, she's kind of been arrested.
Ah.
But of course, she doesn't know that we were directly responsible for that.
Wow, that's kind of a dick move by somebody.
Can you guess which option I picked?
Oh, of course. I would expect nothing less.
Well, surely you would say the same thing. I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah, commentators of a feather and all that jazz.
Oh, yes. So at this point, we're going to try and see if we can figure out exactly who framed her and put her in the can in the first place. But of course, we don't want to let her on that we were the ones that actually wiped the data.
Yeah.
That caused that to happen, because of course, if we had just let it be, she wouldn't be in jail. But then again, we would, and then we wouldn't have a game.
Would be kind of weird if she took over as, like, the protagonist of the game.
That would be a bit weird, actually. I'm not sure how well that would work, considering she's not really a spy, she's just a rookie in firearms.
Yeah, just like a school teacher trying to, like, break and enter.
So this one's a pretty simple one. It also introduces the wiretap thing I was telling you earlier. That little green thing there, that'll actually activate all the green wiring into place, and then we can start messing around with that.
So what did you do to the camera to, like, not get identified when you walk through the beam?
Well, security cameras aren't always for identifying people in this game. In this case, it's just when you walk under it, it becomes active. So what I did was I connected it to the door so that when I walk under the camera and it detects someone, the door opens for me.
Okay.
It's a nice little thing there. And the white thing we walked through earlier is also a motion sensor. And what we did was we disabled that so that the door wouldn't close on us as we tried to walk through. So that we can get the precious side quest loot. But of course you can use motion sensors while there's like guards patrolling as well to get them themselves to trigger something. Which is handy if you're like on the other side of a building and you need to open a door or something.
Just turn them into a makeshift, like, key or whatever.
Exactly. And that's one of the nice things about this game, because especially later on, there's no one way, really, to complete a level. Like, the solution you get to is pretty much the same, but how you get there can vary wildly depending on sort of what you do and how you decide to trigger things. But of course, usually there is like maybe one or two pretty much optimal ways of doing it, but, you know, at least it gives you the option to try it in a lot more interesting ways.
Wow, you blew through that one.
Oh yeah. I mean, there wasn't really any guards or anything like that to take care of.
Yeah, well, you're a gentleman ghost ninja.
Gentleman Ghost Ninja. That is a superhero name if I ever saw one. This is more just to lay on a little bit more story on and also introduce the wiretapping thing I was telling you about earlier. We'll be dealing with not more than red wires and green wires at the later points in the game, let me tell you. Sorry, I get lost in the music from time to time.
You don't need to apologise for appreciating good video music, mate.
Oh yes, it's good video music. You can, if you're interested in the soundtrack actually, he's actually got the entire soundtrack for this game on Bandcamp. So if you want to check out the Gunpoint OST, by all means go there and check it out.
I have to say, like, you're not getting paid much for these missions for being like a covert spy.
Oh no, I mean the last mission we did, and that's just for spying in on the conversation, that got us 300 bones, and that was more than what Rook was paying us. Then again, I suppose she was more helping us not get arrested.
Still, we are putting our life on the line here.
Well, freelance pay ain't easy.
I'll do it for a pack of Doritos, whatever.
If a pack of Doritos costs $308 in this time, that's not a time I want to live in, personally.
Sure.
Sorry, I just love the fact that I could just jump straight through there and just completely kill someone.
Well, no, you're not killing them, you're just knocking them out.
I had the option to. I mean, he couldn't exactly stop me, but I let him live.
What a sentence. You can't stop me, Tom. I've got my options.
I figured his was a hard lot as it is, so, you know, killing him wouldn't make much sense. We're going to do another door to light bulb thing, and we'll just disconnect that as well. But as you may also notice, there is a yellow wiretap that we also have to deal with. And that will come into play in just a moment. And yeah, that's what happens when you die. And the great thing is that you can actually load states from several seconds before that happened.
Nice.
You don't necessarily have to do the entire level again if you don't want to. So you can like load like 4 seconds before you died and then just carry on from there and do something slightly different.
Ah, but will it affect your rating at the end of the mission?
I don't believe it will. So if you felt like you messed up getting an A rank potentially and you want to try it again, you can do. So here we go, we've got to now use the security camera on the yellow wire to open the door, go back up, hack the thing, and jobs are good.
We're in.
Intex ain't got nothing on us.
Now we're Altex. Bye.
God damn you. We are non-lethal ninjas. Why do I feel like a non-lethal ninja would be a bit counterproductive?
Yeah, seriously.
It just uses it to spook people and is just like, haha! Now I leave, in the shadow of night. Then why do you have these shurikens? More for aesthetics.
Leave him alone.
I'm not sure how exactly we're sending him like IPs and things like that whilst they're in jail. It's all a bit mysterious. These modern prisons, I think, are a bit too lenient.
Okay, another couple of upgrades and bada bing bada boom.
Oh yes, we're gonna have quite the jumps for this next mission.
So we're just going with this lady's missions for now?
Yes, and obviously you'll have multiple options for who exactly you go with, and that can branch out in different directions as well, so replaying may also be a good idea just to go back to those missions you may not necessarily have picked. But also it just gets you more money, which gives you more upgrades, which come in handy for the later points of the game especially.
Wow, this is a big one.
Yeah, this time we're dealing with bulky guards called enforcers, who can't be pinned down, but they can be staggered if we jump on them, so just simply taking them down isn't going to do the trick, unfortunately. Also, there is no way directly into the front of this building, so we're going to have to try and be a bit clever here. We don't have enough power to break through the windows on the side, but luckily there's windows on the top, and we're going to go high in the sky in order to make that happen.
Nice.
And now I'll attract the attention of this security guard, who will very kindly open the door for us.
I wonder if it's even possible to get like a no noise rating on this level then.
You can actually get upgrades, which actually makes the glass shattering sound a lot less noisy. I'm not sure where the science comes in to explain that one, but that is a thing you can do.
Again, this just sounds like the Art of Theft, where you can get like different suits that give you different like attributes and whatnot. Stuff that makes you like completely invisible. Stuff that makes the game harder by making you super visible, even when you're in shadows and whatnot.
I mean, a lot of the upgrades do revolve around reducing the amount of sound you make. So, if you want to get the silent treatment on these dudes, then those are the upgrades you may want to go for, but if you want to go like super hacker on them, you may want the hacking upgrades, like literally rigging people's guns to trigger things. Some more lore there for you.
Delicious.
So now the Enforcer's in a room that doesn't really have anything going on right now, so he's probably going to be out the picture unless he decides just on a whim to go upstairs.
So you basically boxed him in for now.
Yep. So we've removed him as a problem for all intents and purposes. So now we don't have to actually deal with him and his burly bulkiness. Now we're going to set up our potential escape route, even though we don't need it. We can just jump through the windows, if we so desire. But if you didn't go for jump upgrades, you may want to have that door open.
So we've gotten what we needed then.
We actually need to hack into the computer on the very top left of the building. And in order to get there, we had to activate the yellow wiretap, but now we have to figure out a way to get into the blue one, which will then allow us to open the door leading to it. Now, I actually didn't need to be here, but I kind of wanted to check out the area. But I was tempted to take out the security guard, but I thought I could have a use for him later on, so... And I'll show you what I mean by use. I actually forgot to rig the door to open. So, here's what I did. I took the motion sensor, rigged it to the door, waited for the guard to run past. And... we're in!
Bueno.
And quickly get out before he decides to close the door on us again. Yeah, unfortunately you get like so much cool shit you can do here, you do actually half the time forget to actually trigger things. Like right there, I wired the blue door, but I actually forget to press the button. So I kind of have to go back for that one. I was like, wait, why is the door open? Ah!
Son of a bitch.
That would be why. And this is me just like in disbelief of my stupidity right now. I had this idea that maybe if I found a way to close the door, I might be able to do it that way, but I can't actually trigger the door closing because it's on a hand sensor that only security guards can activate.
Okay, so while past Volk fixes his blue whatever problem, Gunpoint, present Volk, what do you think?
It is an incredibly fun game. I'm probably going to end up playing more as soon as this commentary is done.
I'm loving the style, puzzle platformers are kind of my thing, like Abe's Odyssey and so on. Yeah, this one gets a thumbs up from me.
It's very, very stylish, and I can approve of style in a video game with gameplay as good as this as well.
Oh yeah.
That is muy bueno.
Just the thought of like speedrunning through these kind of levels, oh, it's setting off the fire within my heart that I should probably get some like Galveston for, you know, oh, finish.
Yeah, you may want to get that looked at.
Yeah, it's not the love of video games, Tom, you're having a heart attack, oh Jesus.
And of course, at this point, you can actually admit that you were responsible for erasing the footage, but of course, we don't want to let it on. There's no reason why she needs to know.
Yeah, and she's in prison, not like she could do anything.
And there we have it. That is Gunpoint.
Ah, good stuff, man, good stuff. Like I said, if you're more of the 3D video game persuasion, don't worry, October's like Spot of PC episodes will scratch that particular itch. What games will those be? You'll just have to wait and see. We like to keep these things a surprise. But yeah, this has been NTom and Volk's Spot of PC, and we shall see you next time for another couple of wonderful episodes. Goodbye for now.